earlier. He's got to do it when it really matters. But, we're on the 3-game winning streak, and, we'll take it. So I think that when Diggs, kind of had his issues, Adam Thielen publicly calling him out because, Adam Thielen don't say shit to nobody. So I think when he got on the mic and started saying what he was saying, so, whatever, just lit something under the ass of Cousins. And, so far so good, these three. Now, Mike's got a tough schedule coming up here in the next few weeks. We'll kind of get a better sense of the player that he is then. But, hey, we'll take it, brother. We'll take it.
Y'all went into Detroit. Detroit ain't no great team, really ain't no good team, but they're a feisty team.
Right.
How'd you like the game plan against Detroit?
Well, outside, and forgive me if I forgot that Detroit receiver that lit us up for 3 or 4
Marvin
touchdowns today.
Jones.
But,
Marvin Jones.
right. Okay, thank you. The Vikings have always had issues playing in Detroit. So, whatever the year is, Jungle, this could be 1998, the 15-1 Vikings going into Detroit. Vikings fans know you never, ever take that Detroit game for granted when they're playing on the road in Detroit. So anytime the Vikings can come out of there with the win, we'll take it. Was a little worried early. First quarter, Detroit kind of came out and started dictating the pace there, but Vikings came back. The touchdown pass, what actually Thielen got injured on, that was a nice grab. And what can you say, Diggs? He went for about $150 today. And so just keep it rolling, man. And if this Vikings defense can just kind of truly right the ship, Jungle, well, they can definitely be I'll say a playoff contender.
Now you say a playoff contender, that means you got to get past
Going
Chicago,
deep, going
Green
deep.
Bay, and
Right. Well, that's the thing.
What's your
Yeah,
take
you got
on
to get past the
on them
Packers.
boys? You heard Shaka and Big L calling in. What was going through your mind listening to the phone call?
Well, a lot of good points, man. Chicago's in a world of hurt right now, and just a few weeks ago, obviously when our Vikings played them, that defense. We were talking Khalil Mack like we were, when he first came over. We were talking about the dominance of, the monsters of the Midway are back. And Jungle, man, they've done a complete 180 down there in Chi-Town. So, yeah, if you are a Bears fan, you are definitely in trouble. And you're pissed off, too, because, again, you're wasting all these picks, Mitch Trubisky and whatnot. I don't know what's going on, but, yeah, it's just not a good time to be a Bears fan. And excuse me as I step inside here. We got some neighborhood dogs going off in the background there.
Yeah, I saw one play on the Viking. I think somebody mentioned it during chat room. I think it was Big L talking about that play action is deadly, and that's the power of a Dalvin Cook. And Kirk Cousins
Oh,
really
yeah.
is a play action quarterback. He's not a
No,
Warren Moon that can just drop back and sling the ball 400 yards. He need a running game. You know what I'm saying? He need a running game and he need an all pro tight end in my book. But who's the offense coordinator for Minnesota? How you feel about him?
Stefanski, they're all right, man. The big thing for the Minnesota Vikings offense is the offensive line being able to open some holes for Dalvin and give Cousins that protection. We're still kind of hit and miss. We've been okay here the past couple of weeks, but if they can really kind of play cohesively and get it going, man, that's what's going to give the Vikings offense success. Dalvin Cook's just phenomenal. Definitely one of the most popular Vikings in town. And what's not to love, man? The speed, the ways he can get around that edge, like today, a couple of those runs, Jungle, looked like 0-yard gains, and he turned them into 8-9 yard pickups. Simply off his speed. So I love Dalvin Cook, man, and I hope he continues to flourish. And if he can stay injury free, we're looking good.
Gov, you seem like y'all got all the components. You got a solid defense, solid offensive line, solid running game, solid wide receiver core. Only question mark is the quarterback. Can
Yep.
or do y'all have anybody on your team that can stretch the field? You let Cordell Patterson go. He's turning kick for the Bears. Do you have somebody on that squad that could stretch the field? Because to get where you need to go, you might be in the shootout. Can y'all stretch the field?
Yeah.
Who's your deep
Well,
play?
that's the thing. Well, that's the thing, Jungle. And I'm sorry, brother. I didn't mean to interrupt you at all.
You good.
But that's the thing. Cousins has been slinging it, but again, it takes protection from that offensive line. I mean, he went for about 350 yards today. The thing is, can you do it against the top elite teams in the NFL and do it when it matters in the playoffs? So that's what we're going to have to wait and see. I mean, this is all nice and good. He's our quarterback here. We root for him, but we got to see it when it matters. And, don't get caught this Thursday and that ever popular trap game against the Redskins. You got to keep this going here as well. So we're going to find out because, like I said, Jungle, it's going to get a lot tougher here in the next few weeks from Minnesota.
I got a trade proposal for you. Tell me what you do this. Christian McCaffrey for Dalvin Cook, straight up. That ninja proposal.
Jungle, you've been smoking some of that North Carolina
that's from that
Ninja.
Again, ain't you, that's from that Ninja. That's from that Ninja now.
That's from that Ninja.
Trade proposal.
That Ninja. Let me tell you something. That Ninja back in the Alabama Garden, man, with some bullshit like that. No, man, ain't happening.
We talking about the MVP, Gov. They talking about Screaming A talking about he the MVP. You ain't smoking
Oh, Lord, that Ninja. Ninja, you just worry about the rib recipe, brother. That trade would never, ever happen. We keeping Dalvin Cook. And I know Ninja just having fun talking shit, but no, Vikings fans love Dalvin Cook, and as long as he can stay healthy, man, he is just a phenomenal asset. And I am definitely glad the Vikings saw their way in drafting him the few years back.
Gov, Green Bay 6-1, man. You
worried about that? I know. Scary, man. I mean, it seems like they get to play at home every week here, but 6-1, they're off to a great start. I mean, you got to give them credit, and hopefully, just hope that they stumble up here and you keep winning. I mean, you got to catch them in the standings because you do not want to be on the road in Green Bay in January. So we'll see what happens, but unfortunately, it is what it is, brother.
Now, y'all playing the AFC West this year. When y'all got Kansas City coming up?
I think that's a few weeks away. I don't have a specific date. But, yeah, that's going to be interesting, too. Obviously, their quarterback's hurting, so, I mean, that could be a good opportunity to, kind of get that victory there. I mean, Kansas City's always tough, so if they can get that win, that would be real nice.
So what's going on with your Gopher? Y'all got a good record, man. Y'all beat up on Lovey last week, but Lovey rebounded, got a win, man. What has PJ Fleck done with this team?
Well, I think they're believing in their coach, and they're just getting better. I mean, that's really what it's all about. I mean, those early games where they could have just as easily opened up 1-4, but those were games that they would have lost a few years ago, Jungle, and they're winning them. Are they world beaters? Of course not. I mean, but they are about to go into the part of their schedule. They got Maryland coming into town next week. Maryland kicked our ass last year out in Maryland. They still got some players and some talent, got some good coaches, so you definitely don't want to trip that one up. They get past Maryland, then you got Penn State coming to town with both of those teams looking to be 8-0 at that point, and that's the one that's going to start answering some questions. So stay tuned. Looks good, though.
Look like y'all guaranteed 8 wins this year, Gov. That's a good year for y'all.
Yes and no. I think personally, Jungle, for me, you need 9. And out of the last month, you have, let's see, who do they got? You got Wisconsin, Iowa, Northwestern, and Penn State. The way Iowa's kind of slowly been regressing, I think if you can go down to Iowa and beat them and beat either Penn State or Wisconsin, that's a phenomenal year. So We will see, man. I mean, that last game of the year might be the Gophers in Wisconsin for the Big Ten championship, and that will definitely be something.
Well, before I get you out of here, Gov, man, you want to talk about what you're seeing in this Cowboy games and Altuve? Is Altuve the best player in baseball?
He might be, man. Yeah, you know me talking a little crap there, obviously about your
Well, me
Yankees,
and my
but
uncle,
yeah, props
we
to.
said it. If we get past Altuve, we might make it, but we couldn't get past Altuve.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's a very good point. I mean, you know, there's the reason that he is Altuve and Houston's won it before. So we'll see what happens there. As for tonight's game, I'm actually haven't been watching too much of it. I'm going to jump in on the second half. I am sipping some bourbon, sitting out here on the back deck. That's why you were hearing some neighbors' dogs barking before. Enjoying one of the last few beautiful days in Minnesota this fall, I think.
Gov, Big L want to know who your Groundhogs beat. Y'all got a good record, but anybody notable? He like who y'all beat?
No, that's a very good point. But you beat who's out there in front of you. I mean, look what happened. Yeah, we smoked Illinois, you know, a couple weeks ago, and look what Illinois did yesterday. So, I mean, you know, you beat who's out there in front of you. It's Minnesota football. No, again, I'm not saying the world beaters, but this is the type of step that a program has to take to get to the next level. So in the next month, we're going to find out when they have Wisconsin on the road at Iowa. Northwestern obviously is down this year. That should be a win. But again, that November 9th game, Penn State, that's the one that if they can both get to 8-0, then we'll start finding out. So I hear what he's saying, and he definitely has a valid point. But look, we'll take it. Moved up to number 17 in the ranking, so it's about the program going in the right direction, and that's what PJ Fleck has it doing.
You right about that. You right about that, Gov, man. Great phone call, brother. I really appreciate your update on Minnesota.
All right, man. Hey, I was just going to say, you have a good night. I'm going to peep out of here. I'm going to continue listening and jump in on this football game.
Got one more question from you in the chat room.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
From that ninja, he says, Sports Gov, how much money would your Southern Canada Icicles have to pay the Buckeyes to lose that game if y'all make it there?
Jungle, let me tell you this. Yeah, we'd have to pay them an awful lot, but I'll tell you what. If, by the grace of God, the Minnesota Golden Gophers represent the Big Ten West and the Big Ten Championship, T from Huntsville, you better have your ass up in Indianapolis because you got to meet up with the Gov. We got to hang out. I don't care if you guys beat us 300 to nothing. If the Gophers get to the Big Ten Championship, I want that ninja in Indianapolis. So get your ass ready. And, might actually give them some tips on some ribs, too.
Oh, man. A great phone call, Gov, man. They got a touchdown by the Cowboys. They're probably going to call back for offensive pass interference. But there also should be another hit on the safety. There should be a flag on the safety hitting Amari Cooper as a defensive receiver. But they're not going to call it. Both calls on Dallas, man. But hey, great phone call, Gov, man. Great phone call, brother.
Hey, man, have a good night. Appreciate you doing the show, Jungle, and get that big rig up through Minneapolis sometime, man. So
all right,
take care,
man. First time I'm up there, I'll give you a call, man. First time I
all right, now, hey, Togo coming back up here for Ribfest Part 3 this weekend. So Togo 2, Jungle rubbing nothing on the trips to Mini now. Come on.
Man. I got to get on the board, man. I got to get on the board.
You got to get on the board. All right, man. You have a good one.
Great phone.
All right, later.
All right. Everybody else is good. That's Sports Governor. Great phone call. Hey, let's keep these calls coming. Dallas, 2nd and 13 on Eagles. Right now they're on 25-yard line. They driving a crucial third down. That was a bogus pass interference call on Amari Cooper. It should have been a It should have been a personal foul on the safety.